comes down to timing. To me, on the cusp of 2019, the biggest thing that's running through my mind, very simply, that matters to every single person in this room is this device. This is a big deal. And what it is it's a representation of something even bigger, which is this internet thing is bigger than people realize. And what's happening in our culture right now, because of the political climate and many other factors, is I think the majority of people in this room and a majority of people in this country and a majority of people in this world are looking at the downside and the negativities and the cynicism around the internet without realizing social media isn't changing us. Social media is exposing who we actually are. More importantly, it gets to the bigger punchline, which is, if this is 1948 or 1978 or 1998 and not 2018, we would not have the ridiculous opportunity that this brings to the table. For me, the one thing I know, whether you're a real estate investor, a politician, you sell underwear, you wanna be a personal brand, you have a cocoa drink, you wanna sell fucking wooden frames, I know. You selling wooden frames? I know that regardless of what you do here, B2B, B2C, whether you have 13-year-old customers you're trying to sell things to, like slime, or 88-year-olds that you're trying to force into your retirement home versus somebody else's, that whether it's Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn, email, text messaging, pre-roll YouTube ads, Instagram stories, influencer marketing, that the great underpriced opportunity in our society is within 7 to 15 platforms that are apps on the mobile device. The biggest thing that I'm fascinated by is the amount of people in this room's ability to say, not my customer, not my industry, not my demo, without recognizing how unbelievably underpriced the attention is. And when I say underpriced attention, I stand here today for many different reasons, mainly on the back of very good parenting and circumstance of not being born here. But no question, my timing of joining my dad's liquor store coinciding with email and Google AdWords being underpriced attention is a reason that I'm so passionate this morning in Phoenix to get people to wake up and actually go all in on the things that you've heard. How many people here have consumed my content somewhat? Raise your hands. Thank you. For that group, I'm actually way more concerned for that group than the people in here that aren't here for me and have never heard any of this. Because for the group that has consumed my content, my concern is that the repetitive nature of me trying to desperately at all cost, without interest in monetizing you, to go into these channels and get yours, that you don't realize how real it is, that it's become passive noise. Yeah, I get it, Facebook ads work. Yeah, I get it, work hard to be passive. Like, I get it, but the reality is, here's what's upsetting me. The thing that I've been the Pied Piper for the last half decade is starting to slip a little bit. Like, Facebook isn't as easy as it was 24 months ago. And by the way, I just said that sentence and hundreds of faces just shook their head, which means they felt the effects of Facebook ads 24 or 36 months ago, and they're starting to realize they're not converting as well, or it's costing more to get the same, or the organic reach. I think all of us know the organic reach collapsed 3-4 years ago. And how many people here are marketing or actively using Instagram? Raise your hand. So for all those hands that are up, I'm sure you're starting to pay attention that even over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it feels like something's starting to happen because the organic reach is starting to soften just enough that it's getting on people's radars, which reminds me a whole lot of what started happening when Google AdWords prices went up, when my email list started looking at 70% open rates instead of 80, and then on to 60, and then to 50, and then to 40. My friends, we are sitting right now at this time in the white heat moment of social networks controlling a stunning majority of people's attention, and it's going to go away, and then there'll be another thing. For you to sit here and not take advantage of the current state of the internet when it's in your face. If you're here this morning, is it Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? like what the fuck are you doing here on a Wednesday morning? I assume, it would make a lot of sense for me if you're sitting in this audience, I assume you came here and spent your time and money to extract value to do something that you want to happen in your life, right? And there's only two ways that gets done. There's the mental part, and then there's the tactical part. It's real simple. Most people play in the middle when the reality is if you're not all the way over here, and if you are not blindly, and this is what an entrepreneur or an operator needs to be, if you are not right here this morning and you are blindly optimistic about the opportunities in front of you, you are vulnerable. And do not mix the word optimism with delusion. I didn't say if you're blindly delusional. If you're delusional, you're fucked. But if you're cynical or pessimistic, or if you're gonna listen to me when I go all the way over here, because that's the mindset, or if you're over here and you're like me and others, and you're also 100% practical, and you understand how to actually execute, and you actually do the work, if you're not in those two places, you're vulnerable. And you came here this morning only to check the box on one of the two things. And to me, the thing on the left, I have to be contextual. I know that Tony's gonna speak. I know that Robert's gonna speak. Listen, I'm thrilled to talk to you about why optimism and mindset and positivity and all that stuff is 100%. It just is. If you've decided when you woke up that Facebook ads don't work, they don't work. So for me, that's cool. But honestly, in the limited time that I have with you, I wanna go practical with you, which is like, Instagram story ads. You can Google it. I don't need a fucking chart. There doesn't need to be a deck. I'm not gonna draw some fucking pictures on a whiteboard. It's called Google. You have it in your fucking hand right now. So, if you don't know what I'm about to say, mentally remind yourself, and if you're not good at that, take a note right now on your iPad or your phone. You should be running Instagram story ads for your business. Why? Because they're grossly underpriced. Why? Because hundreds of millions of people look through them every single day and are paying attention, and more people are not buying it yet because they don't know how good it is. It's called supply and demand. Your job is not to just buy them. You have to figure out what picture and video to put in front of there that compels the person to do whatever the hell you want. Vote for you for the PTA president or give you $730 for your magical fucking berries. I kind of want to leave now. I kind of do. I'll tell you why. It was funny why that just happened to me and my buddy. I'm like, that's it. Like, life is so simple. Whoever was best at radio, content, and advertising grew in the 30s and 40s. Whoever was best at television commercials and TV shows in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they grew and they won. Whoever is best at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter today is winning. That was a shitty ass clap. And let me tell you why it's a shitty ass clap. Because to be great at the things that just came out of my mouth is hard. It sounds great that you're gonna start an Instagram account and take a picture of you taking a fucking hike and your business is gonna explode. The problem is that's not what happens, is it? There's a lot of people here. How many people here want to be an influencer or a personal brand in their industry? Raise your hands, raise it high. So here's what bugs the shit out of me. When 30 to 50% of the hands in this room just went up, the amount of people who just posted something on Instagram yesterday had 9 people comment, but they didn't reply to them because they're more worried about how many likes they're gonna get or how many followers they get from the post, not the actual 9 people that give a shit about them, is why 99% of you will never achieve it. It's true. And I appreciate you for clapping first, sir, with the glasses. I saw you. And for me, That's the most important part. And for the same reason I saw that gentleman who actually started the whole clap in this room, it's the reason I stand up here today. I spend my life reading your comments on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email. That's how I have the insights to create the next thing, because you're giving me the feedback of what's working and not working for you. The audacity of businesses and people in 2019 in putting out content, but then disrespecting their audience because the only thing they care about is will their audience give them what they want, likes, follows, money, is the reason it's so hard. My friends, if you leave Phoenix today with anything when you go home, understand this. If you are not producing content for the internet, you are leaving an incredible opportunity on the table, and your competitors have started the process to hurt you. Now, producing content on the internet is extremely interesting because so many people look at certain people and decide that's the only way. Many people are dominating content and internet without ever producing one video in their lives because they're tremendous writers. Others are self-conscious to put a camera in front of them, but they're great with their voice, so they're killing it in podcast form. If you leave with anything, please don't be like me in the way that I produce content. Be like me in the way that I deploy self-awareness of what I'm good at and then triple down on it to produce it. You might be great at drawing. Communicate like that. You might be great at just random thoughts and recording it on memo on your phone, and you can post that. You might be great on camera, and honestly, much like movies and television, if you are great on video, it's good. It carries weight. But please leave here and look yourself in the rearview mirror or when you get home and ask yourself, how do I communicate? And start communicating.